So welcome everyone. My name is Trisha Gordon and I will be your moderator for this session on the Lessons tool, which is a tool for instructors and students in transforming your user experience. Before we begin, I'd just like to go over a few housekeeping details. This session is being recorded and you will receive an email announcement once the recordings are available. The session is intended to allow us to have open discussion among the attendees. So if any of you have questions or comments throughout the session, please type them into the chat area. Or if you have a microphone, feel free to ask your questions or make comments aloud. However, we do ask that you mute yourself if you are not speaking in order to avoid extraneous background noise. So our presenters today are Tony Lindevore from Ohio Valley University. Tony has served as a public school teacher for 20 years and a curriculum supervisor for 18 years. The transition to higher education was the next logical step. Chairing the School of Graduate Education, teaching face-to-face undergraduate classes and online graduate classes, Tony has experienced education in many venues and from vastly different perspectives. Using Sakai as her LMS and serving on the advisory committee of LAMP are two opportunities for Tony to continue to learn and grow as an educator. We also have with us Fawei Gong from Oxford University. Fawei is currently working at Oxford as an experienced technology enhanced learning specialist. He's been working in the e-learning area for more than 15 years. E-learning projects to date include e-assessments, e-portfolios, course design, impact analysis, and student learning experience. Fawei was awarded Teaching Fellowship twice, the 2006 Oxford Brookes University Fellowship and the 2009 Oxford University Teaching Award. Congratulations, Fawei. And Fawei is an active member of the Sakai community, and I can certainly attest to that. He regularly contributes to the Sakai Teaching and Learning User Group meetings and sits on the Teaching with Sakai Innovation Award Committee. And you can see his contact information on the slide. So Fawei, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. Welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Tricia. Hello, everyone. Welcome back if you are in America from your lunch. And here in the UK, I'm calling from Oxford. It's nearly 6 o'clock in the evening. So in this brief talk, I'm going to explain how the Lessons tool has been transforming our user experience at Oxford. I will look at the old way and the old way of designing a Sakai site and the new way of doing that, and show you some examples of the improved Sakai sites we helped with our departments, and also some user feedback. As you can see, before the Lessons tool was introduced, this is one of the old ways to design a Sakai site. Basically, some instructors, they presented the files in resources on the home page. I have to say there's nothing wrong with that. The students log in, they just use Sakai as like a filing cabinet. They find out the files and documents to read. As this morning, the keynote speaker said, actually, we would like the learning management system to support learning process, support learning instead of just getting information or files from the repository. So this is another way, an old way of designing the site, let's say the home page. As you can see, it's an improvement, and it tries to categorize the content and the different headings and try to present the content using links. But there's issues here. It's very time consuming to manually create those links and present the content, and it's very difficult to update for the instructors. For the students, it's quite difficult to navigate. And for example, if they click on one of the links, and it's very difficult for them to come back to the home page. They have to click on another tools on the left-hand side if you are familiar with Sakai, and then click on the home to back to this page. There's a lot of information there, basically. And we have this is the third method. It's still all the way. That is a page actually created by one of our academics after our training session. What we're trying to do here, as you can see, we try to teach people to better use the HTML editor, FCK editor, try to organize the content in the logical way to create a structured learning pathway, and also add headings and make try to pull things together on one page. As you can see, he incorporated the forum to and the resources to this page, and there's some issue here as well. If you link to a forums tool, for example, on the HTML page, when the students click on this tool, instead of going to a specific topic or conversation, they are guided to the top level of the forums tool. Therefore, in order to find the specific topic or conversation they are interested, they have to click on forum, topic, and conversation to find the message. A little bit, too many clicks, basically. But it's relatively good design. We were quite pleased with that. So as you can see, the old way, the tool-based way of presenting content, the instructors select tools from the site info area and present it on the left-hand side, created some challenges. For the students, they need to click on each tool on the left-hand side in order to understand, try to find out what this site is about, what kind of activity they have to participate, and where they can find the useful information. It's quite difficult. And for the instructors, actually, it's so difficult for them to try to pull things together to create something to support the learning process by stitching things together. It's difficult. It is hard. It's all manual process. In contrast, let's look at the normal, we call it normal website. Both our instructors and students look at every day on a daily basis. As you can see, this is the BBC website, and the content is much closer to the learner, and it looks nicer and visually appealing, and it's easy to find information. If you see the latest sporting, go there, and you see the latest news, and you can see and the latest news heading. So it's much easier compared to the three design I presented earlier. And similarly, like you see in the website, it has a similar style and structure and a way of presenting information to the user. So we face this challenge. So September 2014, Oxford introduced Lessons 2. We absolutely love it. As you can see, I got an icon here. I really love the Lessons 2. And if you look at the picture on the left-hand side, each individual pole represents the individual tools in Sakai, and on the left-hand side. And when the students come to the site, before the Lessons 2 was introduced, they have to try to figure out how the site works. But the Lessons 2 really allowed the instructors to pull things together, and when the students or the user come to the Sakai site, they can see straight away what this site is about, how they're going to navigate, and what activity they need to participate in order to achieve a learning outcome, for example. And basically, the lessons page guides students through a carefully designed learning pathway. And the last point is very important. There's a very important feature in the Lessons 2 called student pages or add student content. If you listen to the talk earlier by one of my colleagues, Lucy Talent, she talked about in much more detail how she used the student pages, which I really believe that will help students' learning process by using the peer review, peer assessment. They can collaboratively create content together. There's a lot of nice feature there. There's rubric can be associated with the student pages. They can comment on each other's content, really provide a lot of freedom to our students and empowered our learner, which virtual learning environment or learning management system, you call it, supposed to enable. And not only for the students, but also for the academics or the member staff, instructors, actually, the lessons to really, bring them home. Basically, what I mean about that, you think about when they design a classroom activity, they don't select tools to begin with. What do they think about it? They think about, okay, what kinds of learning outcome I'm going to try to achieve, and what kinds of activities I need to design or to create to support my students to achieve the learning outcomes. And also the learning content or materials need to bring in to support them. And in the learning environment, would it be an individual learning activity or a group learning activity? And assessment, etc. So lessons to really allows them to think in this way, in a similar way, to stitch things together in a structured way. It's much, much easier, makes sense to them. They are very, very pleased about that. You're going to see some feedback later on to you. Quickly, those are some screenshots created by us, and if you listen to the another talk earlier by my colleague Steve and Zav, they talk about a lot of detail about how the templates. This is designed by our templates, how the templates was designed, the process, and the rationale behind it. A lot of detail there. Do go there to have listened because it's recorded. This is like 2-column homepage, and as you can see, looks nicer. We try to organize the content in a sensible way, and then link to the relevant sections or elements which generated by different tools in Sakai. So it's much easier to navigate. And this is another layout called 3-column homepage with the images, just present in a different way. And this is a magazine style homepage to present the content. And this is really about using the lessons tool, as you can see. The lessons tool really allowed us to organize the content in various ways, by week, by topic, by learning outcome, by chapter. So there's endless way of organizing things by using the lessons tool, and easy to navigate as well, as you can see. And this is an example of a lecture page. This lecture described the course content and the outline, objective assessment, and also organized their content by week. In Oxford, it's 8 weeks per term, and organize the content by week. And then students come here, they can go to each week and find everything happening in that week to achieve their learning goals. So some of you might be thinking about, all right, how about the resources tool then? Resources tool used to be an essential tool for people to present information and the content. Actually, we are not actually completely abandoning the resources tool. And one very good use case is, for example, in some departments, they want to share among different sites, they want to share some common resources. What we could do is to create a repository site, which the resources in that repository site can be shared by different sites. So this can be a use case still for the resources tool. And also, we all know, if you've been using lessons tool, anything uploaded from your computer will be uploaded into the resources tool. They are still there, but it's just quite difficult to make sense of. So that's why we focus on the lessons page when designing course, the Sakai site, and we try to avoid using resources tool if possible to present to the students. And this, some user feedback we got so far, the people really like the lessons tool. Is nice to have everything in one place, and it's easy to posting together, and easy to edit. And as you can see, our academic staff here, they really love the tool, and they also find this easier to upload material directly from their computer to the lessons page, and automatically into resources area, instead of going to resources first, create a folder, add a file, and then present them on a HTML page. So it's much easier for them. sorry for very quickly reading through of this presentation because now it's about 30 minutes, and this is my contact information. We have to say we really love this too, and thanks for the effort of the developers. And I hope you guys explore this too and try to we can try to learn more together. Thank you.
Thank you, Fawei. I'm going to switch. If you could stop sharing your desktop by clicking that icon again at the top left, and then I'm going to give
Stop.
Tony
Yeah.
presenter.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you. And Tony, let's see if I still have your.
Yes, you've given me presenter privileges.
Okay, you good to go?
I think. Let me pull up my PowerPoint.
Right.
And if anybody has questions for Fawei while I'm getting my stuff done, we can do that.
Yeah, please go ahead and feel free to post questions or comments in the chat. I know that Fawei, I think your templates look great. And
thank you.
Have you have shared those, or have you shared those with the community in any way? As far as
this question was asked earlier, and yes, certainly we are happy to share those templates. These templates actually are in the FCK editor in our version. We can certainly push everything to the trunk. Yes.
Yeah, that
can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Oh, what have I not done, Rod?
Let's see. Did you see a message to allow?
Oh, there it is.
Then,
I opened it up and then I didn't allow and remember. Allow. You think I'd remember this? There we go. And can you see it now?
Not yet. Any other prompts hanging out?
Oh, there it is. There's the one about the big blue button desk share applet.
Okay, great, perfect.
All right.
Now we can see.
Now can you see it?
Yes, we can.
Oh, very good. It was very interesting when Fawei presented his presentation. I had seen it before but didn't realize who Fawei was and didn't realize we were going to be doing this together. My path mimics exactly what he has talked about. And I started using the old way and moved into lessons, and as Fawei says, I love it. For us at OVU, all of my graduate classes in the master's degree program are online, and we all use the lessons tool to present our information. For most of us, what I'm going to present are just some samples of the way I have used it and some of our other instructors have used it. And as Fawei said, we set up our classes based on the weeks that we have our students. This gives them exactly where they need to be, on what week and on what day. So this is very convenient for our students, and they really appreciate that formatting. In my classes, sometimes I will do a little table, delineating what the goals are and what the assignments might be and when they're due. And some of the students, especially when they're in the program for the first time, this seems to be something that they kind of gravitate to. This is how I use it in one of my classes. And you can see the weeks down the side. I also have a before classes begin lesson page that gives them some pointers about how to navigate the site and some of my things that I want them to do. If you'll notice, assignments and forums are grayed out. I don't let them see those tools on the left-hand side. I embed them on the lesson page, so they have to go to the lesson page to get those things. We've discovered that creates a whole lot less problem for the student. With the page itself, I do a text box and add the word assignment and forum at different places, so they're always looking for those two things. I try to be consistent with the color and font size and font style so that they know what to look for when they're going through. I also usually throw in one of those little single questions just to make sure they've read something with other things. And then one of the features that I added last year was, this is the end of the week 2 page. Sometimes they didn't scroll down far enough to see the end of the page or whatever. And I don't always do it, but they've learned to look for that. And it helps them remember that they need to go to the bottom of the page. Student communication. I have found the lesson page has improved communication for me with the students, for the students to me, and for the students within the class themselves. Many times at the very beginning of the next week, I will comment on some things that they have done or some concerns I might have had or some kudos on things that they did really well, and I'll put that at the very top of the page. The second one, the add comment, is where I'm asking for them to comment on something. I usually preface it with some kind of information, and then, especially if I have a really small class, sometimes it's easier to use the add comment section rather than the forum tool. But having it all right there on the lesson page is just invaluable. The bottom one is also an area where they had an issue where they had to do an observation, and I don't think they quite knew the difference between observation and assumption, and so I had to kind of point that out to them a time or two for them to get that message. This last page is an Add Student Content page. Much like Lucy had done in the previous session in my graduate capstone course, the students go in and I do the Add Student Content page, and then they have to put their information, they have to pretend that they're the instructor and do a page. And the last time I did this, there wasn't the rubric wasn't available, so this year when I teach this class, next semester, they will get to be able to do the student review on their pages. But you can see that the page that I have in front of you is very nice. The students did this just with the add content, add student pages on it, and it's amazing how much they can do with the limited tools that they have in that. And these are some of the ways we have used the Lessons tool here at OVU, and now we're asking you as participants in this to share with us some of the ways that you use Lessons, or ask any questions that you might, or try to answer any questions that you might have about what Faway and I have done. And you can take the presenter away from me so I can get my PowerPoint off. There you go. Any questions out there? Hello? Tricia, are you still there? Oh dear.
I got a question for you, Tony.
Sure, go ahead, Faway.
Have you tried to use the group feature for the student page?
I have not, but that's something I'm going to use. I found that really interesting, and I don't know enough about it yet, so I'm going to have to investigate that myself.
Yeah, Lucy was talking about earlier, and we had she tried in a student page, can be in video or can be associated with a group. Yeah, when I tried to use the group feature, it gave me an error message, and although it worked, but it gave me an error message. I want to say if you got this issue or not. Yeah,
I have not used that feature yet.
Okay, thanks.
We've also had one of our instructors that works with online instructors in the business department. Some of them were not familiar with Sakai, so what she did is she created a project site, gave them each a lesson tool page with their name on it, but that gave them, they were all in the project site as instructors, so they could use all the tools. So they could create their pages, their lesson pages, as if they were the instructor and had all the tools. And I haven't done that yet either, but I'm going to.
So I think I have my audio back, and
oh,
I
very
apologize
good.
for that momentary glitch.
It scared me.
Me too. We have another question from R. Pete. Who's asked, it looks like your left-hand navigation is your syllabus. How does the syllabus relate to this site design?
We actually have a separate tab that says syllabus, and our syllabus is within that. Our official syllabus is within that tool. Our students within our syllabus, we give them certain information about, posting forums and dates assignments are due, etc. It's more a navigational tool for us rather than a syllabus, but we have to have our syllabus on our site. That's a requirement for us.
And then they want to know, is your syllabus interactive?
I do not use an interactive syllabus, no.
And I think by interactive syllabus, we're talking about the ability to use the new functionality in the server browser to link to items in assignments, forums, and tests and quizzes. It's similar
I have
functionality.
Not done that.
Yeah, it's similar to what's built into lessons, but it works in other tools. Yeah.
I have not used that, no.
Yeah. Okay. One of my questions is, how have you introduced the use of lessons and these layouts and so forth to your faculty? And it sounds like, at least from Fawei's presentation, that faculty are excited about it. But how have you gone about introducing it? And have you encountered any barriers or gotchas?
Yes. All of my instructors, and we have 5 of them in the School of Graduate Education, all use it because it's required. I mean, we don't meet face-to-face, so there's no other way, and they have to use Sakai, and we have required that they use the lessons tool to lay things out for consistency for the students. That was not met with any problem at all, and OVU is a member of the LAMP consortium, and I have gone to the LAMP meetings as well as some of our other staff from other institutions that teach for us, and that's how we learned to use the lessons tool, was by going to those workshops. On our staff, with our face-to-face classes, I use it all the time with my face-to-face classes, but we have faculty that are still not making use of all of the tools that Sakai provides for them. And we've had professional development, we've had opportunities, we had Friday lunches that we would demonstrate how to use things, and there are some reticent individuals that find it difficult to find ways to use Sakai in their face-to-face classes.
Yeah, we've encountered that at the University of Virginia as well. I don't know if it's reticence, but I think faculty, like many of us, have a lot to do, and learning all the new technologies isn't always high on their list. So we wish we could reach more of them and help them be more use the tools more effectively. How about you, Fawei?
Oh, go ahead, Fawei.
Okay, just quickly. Basically, as you can see, the best design I showed you, the old way, is using the HTML editor, try to posting together, but we wasn't happy with that. And just about a couple of months ago, we were funded by the university to improve our Sakai presence for all for departments. We got some funding. It's a project called a WISE project, WebLearn Improve Student Experience project, and we basically work with a number of departments, 16 in total, to work with them and give them a lot of personalized support to help them to improve their site. And I can post a link about the project. And we did have some resistance. For example, the people used to use the resources too. They said, "Oh, I want to keep using it." And but when we try to show them the new design, a new lessons page, a new homepage, a majority of them were impressed, and they were willing to switch to the lessons too. But we didn't say, oh, you have to stop using the resources too. For faculties, they still want to use the resources too. What we did was they can still upload files in resources, and on the lessons too, you can embed files or folders on a page, and the files will be automatically appear on the lesson page. So the students will see the lessons page, but some of them still using the resources too. But we hope gradually we will win them over. Thanks.
Thank you both. We are out of time, and it's, we just start getting going in our conversation and run out of time. But this was really engaging, and I think if folks are interested in hearing more from Faway and or Tony, we often have presentations in the Teaching and Learning weekly calls on lessons. So look for that topic in an upcoming meeting. So thank you both again, and I'm sorry we're out of time, but really appreciate your presentations today.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Tricia. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.